I have started this video about 10 times so far. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to get one done. It's a response actually to Van, and I'll put it in public. I really am somehow transitioning. I've got something going on that's a very, I got some things flying around in my head that I got to tame it down. First of all, you mentioned that you were glad to see I put out a couple of videos. I had mentioned in the one where I was kind of transitioning, kind of done with things the way they are, I'm not really sure what to do, that if anybody had any questions, I would make them a video on it. So those 2 videos I made were responding to people's questions. I don't know that I'm going to continue on. The difficulty is this. At some point in time, early on, I'm very eager about what I'm doing and I'm interpreting this. I'm on the outside finding my way in. At some point I do get in and I'm playing around and I'm learning things and I'm interpreting stuff and I'm finding the template and I'm finding those commonalities. At some point I transition from being on the outside to being on the inside. And that takes a while to become aware of that. And then you start looking at things in a different way. And then instead of just going, hey, I found the template in religion, what you start seeing is people are using this religion to justify the killing of other people, and it's wrong. It switches from something that's very fun to look at to something that's very not okay to look at. Of course, those are things we kind of already know. A lot of people already know that. You look at that and say, that's ridiculous that you're using a supernatural belief that came from your local area that you're interpreting in your own image in order to justify the hatred that you say is in the name of God. It's no longer just looking at that. Now I am looking at the template going, oh, you know what? I don't have to sit here and argue with you anymore. I can suddenly show evidence that what you have is wrong. I think the problem in my previous videos is I would start launching off on all of the things that I see wrong at this point. And I need to stay away from that. I think we can all see that. And, in a nutshell, what I see is that humans evolved. It's a survival of the fittest. We've gotten to be too large. You start killing people off. People where there is not space, where there's resource difficulties, there is conflict over those resources. And that would have been the case before religion. There would have been conflict over resources. There's enough food here for 100 people. Meanwhile, there's 10,000 people in the valley. What's going to happen? This is no different, except that now, so we've advanced our civilization, but in the background, that is still what is running in the background. People are not slowing down reproducing. We're continuing to fill in areas. We're not sitting back going, oh, can we keep doing this? We don't do that. And you look around the world right now, and there's so much conflict, and there's so much hurt, and there's so many people trying to find a way to escape from someplace else just to go live, and then they go there and they have more children, and it's like, what the hell is the matter with humanity? How come we can't see what we're doing? Religions become no. Let me just say very specifically, Abrahamic religion is the one I'm working with right now. That's the one I want to go after. There's all kinds of reasons to go after other religions, but right now, where I am, I see like things happening in the political system where one political side is actually using supernatural claims to justify the demonizing of other people as part of this process. We're a civilization now. We can no longer just say, you're this color, you're that color, you're something. Although that's coming back now as well, isn't it? This world is in bad shape, and this material I'm going through is the largest justification on the planet for people to circumvent personal responsibility for how other people feel or what they get or whether they deserve to be here or not. The difficult thing for me to think through is that if survival of the fittest wasn't there, we wouldn't be here. Do you drop survival of the fittest now? There has to be some way that we would manage it. Let's think it all the way through here. We emerge. Survival of the fittest. We're going to keep growing and growing and growing and filling in. And when there's resource issues, we're going to have to fight. It's survival of the fittest going on and on. And when the space runs out, there's going to have to be a reset. Why? Because the survival of the fittest is there. The only way for that to not happen, there would have to be planets that we could keep going to. There would have to be something else in place. There's a point in time you look at it and go, it's inevitable. There is going to have to be a reset because we are evolving and we're not going to stop evolving. And we're not going to manage our own evolution. That wouldn't be survival of the fittest anymore. That would be Nazi Germany, which is where we're headed, isn't it? Well, let's not even go there. Where we can or do go doesn't matter. Where we are now matters. And there's a whole lot of hurt right now. There's so much pain and suffering. And people are utilizing, they've been told something that they believe in that is not right. But it fits right with survival of the fittest. We'd be doing it anyway. Ugh. I feel stuck. There's a mental processes that we go through trying to figure things out. And we don't just listen to people who say, this is the truth right here. Oh, okay. What does it do for me? It gives you eternal life. I'm all over that. I like this one. We're not that way. We're the ones that go, really? How? Why? Show me. I don't see it. Let me go somewhere else and do the same thing. We're those. We're not the ones that go, okay, I like that. I'm going to believe it. I'm going to join I'll be in your tribe. Yeah, I will help you do your things. Those are our enemy? Okay, I'm with you. We're not that. But think about it. By evolutionary default, most people need to be that way. We're just not living in the same way that we were back then now. Alpha males are still there no matter how evil they are. They still just say, we're number one. We're the chosen ones. Everybody is, aren't they? In their minds, yeah, that's how they do it. As long as we can mentally put you down and put ourselves over you, it's a done deal right there. They've demonized other people. You're now worthless. It doesn't matter. And if you're not in their side, you are on the other side. They don't even see layers or levels or non-participants or anything like that. It's just a freaking mess. And the material they're using is the material that I'm finding is, yeah, you guys, you want to see how much horse crap that is? Anyway, I can't help but think that if you gain some traction, you would probably get the most, the conflict that goes on the like the atheist channels and whatnot is nothing compared to what happens if you can, it's one thing to argue back and forth. It's true. No, you can't prove it is. You can't prove it isn't. You can't prove it is. Yeah, you get the Pee Wee Herman stuff going back and forth between the theist and atheist. You pop up and suddenly say, hey, both of you guys, look, I got something in here. Pisses off everybody. Suddenly you're showing what is there. Instead of just having conflict, which people like, you're actually coming up with something that makes people see something. Ignorance is bliss. How do you shatter bliss? Provide some answers. They don't like that. So I got to be careful not to push it to too many places, but I've experienced it. Yeah, I've had Christians when I make the comparisons. I've had time back in the past where, that theist atheist back and forth thing that never goes anywhere. that is completely different than finally showing something and people hit you in a completely different way. Suddenly you are satanic and evil. We're cursed to see things that others cannot, but they are. Yeah. They're not going to see it that far. At some point, I'm not sure what to do. You see my dilemma here. The issues that I have aren't on my channel. And again, it's probably good that my channel is very dead and quiet. It kind of protects me. Although I do still want, God, I want humans to get beyond this. Can't we have survival of the fittest and religion without it being something like this while understanding something? Religion should not be supernatural. There should never be supernatural beliefs in the background because it just allows people to think things that are not real. If I was to create a religion, I know exactly what to do. I would create it on the template. I would say, this is how you came about and this is what you must do. And you must leave life purged, clean, and pure. That we are on an evolutionary course, that physically we emerge from the primordial soup of whatever the physical background is, but that we are still emergent, that there is something beyond here that we're going to go to, but the only people that get there are the people that follow these directions. That in turn, through cause and effect, would create parents who think that way, who then have children who are taught that way instead of taught, you're going to die forever in hell. That's not even death, is it? You're gonna exist feeling like you wish you were dead forever in hell because of something somebody else did. So join this religion. Think about that. As an infant, as a child, you're being raised that way, and you've got that mind that just believes what you're told. You're getting instilled that first of all, we have a natural instinct to fear death anyway, and then you capitalize on that by basing the religion on that very core fear, instead of something that's like, let's base a religion on the love of life. Let's base it in the fear of death, and then pretend like on top of it. You see what happens? What happens? It gets backwards. It's inside out. Okay, so I think what I might do is, I think I'm trying to think it through. You see, I'm still stuttering. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I think there was a time early on when I was doing like my Gospel of Thomas interpretations, where I would just take the verse and I would do the interpretation, and then take the verse and do the interpretation. I think what I should do maybe is get into Genesis, and it's the long verse stuff instead of the short verse, but just start going through that in the same way. I did that. I did a lot of talk. I did some build up, and then I went into the beginnings of Abram and Sarai, and how that represents us, our inner beings, how it goes from good to bad. Pharaoh represents the connection to the world, and then we're going to go off and start having issues. But I should just jump into that and treat it like it's the Gospel of Thomas stuff. Not even explain what I'm doing. Just jump in and start doing it. People that get it, and if they don't, they don't. I think people are, but then do that from time to time. It'll take me less time to do that. I don't have to do so much work. Well, that's it. I don't think I want to do on the Discord server. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask. I'm not sure what to do, and I'm feeling very, I don't know, very dismayed. That's, when I wake up at 3 a.m. and toss and turn, that's what I wake up with, hearing somebody hold the Bible and say, in the name of God, you people this, you people that. That's the evil that lurks in my mind at night, hearing that. And staying close to this, doing this, and seeing what it really is kind of forces you to keep close to it. I have to grow into it. I've got to let my mind adjust. I have high feelings and high compassion. I get angry at people that don't have that are actually hurt other people or say things, or I see that as evil, when in all reality, life would see that as the best opportunity for survival. Fuck. All right. That's all I had to say in this video. Hope it's all right. I will post something from time to time. I don't know what. I'm going to have to be careful. I gotta, I wear my emotions on my sleeve to begin with. I got to be careful about what I take on. It makes me not feel okay. All right, take care.